created. Suspended Bucor Chief Gerald Bantag is facing fresh criminal and administrative complaints over the alleged torture of new Bilibid inmates. Prices of dried fish have gone up in some wet markets amid a supposed shortage in supply. And health experts in China see the peak of infections lasting 2 to 3 months. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know to jumpstart your weekend. I'm Riza Diaz. We begin today's newscast with the Bureau of Corrections filing more complaints against its suspended chief, Gerald Bantag. Bucor confirms that Bantag was charged with violating the anti-torture law. According to the complaint, Bantag stabbed and slashed 2 inmates while he was drunk. Because of this, the inmates reportedly needed up to 2 months of medical attendance. He will also face complaints for serious physical injuries as well as an administrative case. Bucor is also considering filing plunder complaints against Bantag over unfinished buildings in Bilibid. The Armed Forces of the Philippines is consulting lawmakers over possible amendments to the fixed-term law. AFP spokesperson Colonel Medel Aguilar told 1PH that they are looking to amend the law to enable commanders to designate subordinates as successors. Aguilar said this is to ensure continuity in AFP's programs. Republic Act 11709 grants a fixed 3-year term for key AFP officials regardless if they are near the mandatory retirement age of 56. The law also gives the sitting president the power to terminate a particular term, as in the case of former AFP Chief Bartolome Bacaro, who was replaced after just 5 months in office.
Naniniwala kami na maganda yung batas at ito ay nangangailangan naman ng pagbigay ng atensyon sa mga issue na hindi natin inaasahan na nahaharapin natin sa implementasyon ng batas na ito. Palagay namin, siyempre, kung may pagbabago po sa timpla ng sitwasyon, may pagbabago sa threat situation, then probably we should give the appointing authority the flexibility to choose who among his people or subordinates should lead the armed forces of the Philippines down the line.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Consumers are now facing even more commodity price hikes. This time, it's meat alternatives like fish and eggs. The details in this report by Aryan Kalumbiran.
With soaring prices of chicken and pork meat, dried fish have always been the cheaper alternative for many consumers. But Filipinos might have to tighten their belts further as prices of dried fish are also up. In La Union, prices of dried fish have increased by up to 100 to 200 pesos per kilo. Danggit prices in wet market soared to 1,000 to 1,200 per kilo from 750 pesos. Tuyo prices went up to 400 pesos per kilo while prices of dilis have hit around 600 pesos per kilo. Producers of dry fish in Santo Tomas, La Union attributed this to the low supply of these fish products over the past month. They say supplies have only begun to recover this January.
Last year, gawa ng kuminsan din sila nagpapalahot dahil may gale warning, madalas may bagyo, kaya madalang ang isda.
Though supplies have slowly recovered this month, sellers of dry fish warned that prices could still climb further with the incoming summer season.
Asahan pong tataas. Kasi time na ito ng pakonta ang isda. Malamig tapos biglang iinit. Pakonta ang isda, pagtagi dito.
With this, sellers are left with no choice but to hike prices or risk losing income.
Talagang tataas. Wala kaming magagawa. Susunod kami. Pag hindi ka nagdagdag, hindi ka naman kikita.
Over in Dagupan City, prices of bangus remain steady at 110 to 120 pesos per kilo for smaller bangus and 160 to 180 pesos per kilo for bigger ones. Vendors, however, reported slow shipping of supply and smaller sizes of fish.
Konti na kasing bangus. Umaga mayroon na. Tapos madami. Ngayon, parang bihira. Yung sizes niya lumiliit. Lumiliit din yung presyo niya.
The Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Bureau explains that this is a temporary situation. The agency says that the smaller size of bangus is caused by the cold weather, which prevents the faster growth for fish and prompts them to swim deeper underwater, making them harder to catch.
Bumabagal po ang kanilang metabolism at kapag ito po ay nangyari, sila'y maapektuhan at hindi sila masyadong kumakain. So magiging resulta ito po ng slower growth rate para doon sa mga inaalagaan nating isda.
BFAR assures the public that milkfish can be expected to grow to bigger sizes once temperatures normalize. The agency says lower supply does not affect the prices of bangus. Further monitoring, average milkfish prices remain at 160 per kilo in Metro Manila. But it's not just fish prices that have risen. Prices of medium-sized eggs are now 7 to 9 pesos per piece in some wet markets from 6 pesos. The Agriculture Department attributes this to the effects of the bird flu on egg production. Aryan Kalumbiran, We Are One News.
In other news, Pagasa says the low-pressure area off Surigao del Sur will continue to bring rains to parts of the country. The State Weather Bureau says that the LPA is not expected to intensify in the next few days. However, it could trigger rains, which could cause possible flooding or landslides in southern Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Meanwhile, the northeast monsoon or Amihan will bring rains over Metro Manila and the rest of Luzon. It seems China's current COVID wave is nowhere near over. One epidemiologist says that infections could still peak for up to 3 months. According to the health expert, COVID-19 cases could surge in rural areas as people travel home for the Lunar New Year. China recently abandoned its strict COVID restrictions and reopened borders as a result of public clamor. This resulted in an uptick in cases and alleged unreported deaths, prompting concerns over Chinese data transparency. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 9 in the morning as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.